All right, we are live. Adam, if I may, I'd like to start the roll call.
Yes, please call roll.
Okay. Mr. Pahovich?
Here.
Mr. Dove?
Here.
Mr. McNulty?
Here.
Mr. Pierce?
Here.
Mr. Beer?
Here.
All right. Well, thanks everybody. Obviously, this is a bit of a unique situation, since this is our first time holding a zoning commission work session. So if the chair is all right with that, I'd like to open it up for the applicants to provide a brief overview. And Wes, if you can maybe provide some history on the site too, I think that would be helpful for the board to understand. From there, we could open up discussion with the zoning commission members, and staff will have comments too. Thanks.
You want me to go ahead, Michelle?
Yeah, Adam, is that okay to approach this?
Yep, that's
okay.
Perfect. Go ahead, Wes.
Hey, how's everyone doing tonight?
Good.
Good. It's good getting to see everyone from the zoning commission. I know Adam and Todd and Dennis. I think we all got the opportunity to go through this particular property before. So Les and Rick, it's nice meeting you guys, and hopefully I can be helpful tonight. So Michelle, is it all right if I do some screen sharing?
Oh yeah, here, I'll turn mine off and then give you the ability.
All right, perfect.
I need to make you a co-host. Yep, okay.
Awesome. So let me see if I can do this appropriately. Awesome. All right, can everyone see this?
Yes.
Yep.
All right, perfect. So my name's Wes Smith. I'm with Schottenstein Real Estate Group. So back in 2018, Schottenstein Real Estate Group came into Orange Township for a rezoning of about 27 acres located on the south side of the to-be extended home road, which is right here, and also for a modification to a PERD on the north side of the to-be extended home road. So back in 2018, we formed a public-private partnership with a lot of different entities, including Orange Township, Delaware County, Delaware County Economic Development Group, with Olentangy Schools, and Delaware County Engineers Office, and a lot of others, a lot of other partners. And the main goal was to really see what we could do to make the home road extension come to life, and extend Green Meadows and Graphics Way with that. So through that public-private partnership, we were able to do that. And I believe as of September, home road from US 23 to Green Meadows has been open to the public. Green Meadows Drive has been extended to home road. Graphics Way has been extended to home road. So that include all the infrastructure, the water, the sewer, everything that needs to be in place that really can be the key to unlock all the commercial development within the Slate Ridge community. The next step for the home road is to make the extension across the railroad tracks and connect up to Lewis Center Road. So we're currently under construction on our 288 units on the south side of home road. Construction is going very well. We're about halfway through. The community is renting up very well right now. We couldn't be more happy with it. So what we are coming to you guys today are on the 20.4 acres on the north side of home road. As you guys know, the township made the big endeavor of placing an overlay on the US 23 corridor. And as part of that, this property was located in that overlay. And really what we're doing is we are continuing, doing a continuation of the south side of the road up into the north side of the road. Okay. So I don't know if everyone's had a chance to check out the response letter. I know staff came back with some technical comments on our submittal package, which Michelle and Holly, thank you guys very much for your guys' input. You guys are always great to work with. You guys have great input, and you guys are always do a great job on guiding us in the appropriate direction, through the process, which, sometimes can be interesting. So thank you for that. I really appreciate it. So, so with our original submission package, we actually submitted for 130 units to be built on the north side of Home Road. Through the technical comments, we were trying to give some flexibility to ourselves to respond to market demands as far as product type is concerned, which left a little ambiguity with what may be constructed. So through the technical review comments, what we are doing is on our revised submittal package, we are actually going to lock in our development to two layouts. We're going to have a 120 unit layout opposed to 130, with the option of an alternate layout for 112 units to give a more finite, I guess, number on what we can build and what we are going to build. So as part of our original submittal package, there was some divergences that we had submitted to give us that flexibility as far as the minor amendments were concerned. We are going to take away all those divergences and really stick to the plans that we submit. So just to give you guys some information on our particular layout. So again, this is 20.4 acres. Essentially, we have a centralized park area right here, and I'll zoom into that a little bit. So what we have planned for this area is a picnic shelter with or a gazebo, a dog park back in this area, a fire pit, and then there's our mail trash maintenance building. And then our residents will actually have, these residents will have access to the clubhouse that is located on the multifamily on the south side of Home Road.
Disney Plus.
Does someone have a question, or is that just some feedback in the background? Sorry. That's all right. No, I'll keep going. I apologize. So as far as open space is concerned, the required open space is 20%, which equals about 4 acres. On this particular site, we have about 8 acres of open space, which is equivalent to 39%. So we have almost doubled the open space requirements associated with the RCOD. As far as density is concerned, we're allowed up to 8 units per acre. With the 120 units, we're at 5.88 units per acre. If we choose to go with the 112 unit layout, we're somewhere in the range of 5.49 units per acre. As far as architecture is concerned, we have 3 buildings that are being proposed for this site. So, we get really fancy with our building names. So this is our first building. It's the T building. Okay. The T building, this is a new building for us. We're very excited about it. It is a 6-unit building, a townhome building, meaning, it's first and second floor as far as living is concerned. The 4 interior units are 2-bedroom units with 1-car garages. And then the 2 end units are 3-bedroom units with 2-car garages. And the thing that I like about the end units here on this building, it actually has a first floor master bedroom, which we're really excited about. We think it really hits a point in the marketplace that a lot of other people have not hit. So that's our first building. Our second building is the M building, we call it. It is a 4-unit building, 2 stories. Again, townhome type of building. Each unit has 3 bedrooms. Each unit has 2-car garages, and each unit has a first floor master associated with it. And then this is our third building. We call it our J building. So this building is what I call single floor living or a garden style apartment. So This building actually has 12 units associated with it. There are 1 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms within the building. The thing that's interesting about our product type is, and it is very unique, is that each end of the building has garages associated with it. So of the 12 units, there's actually 10 garages associated with the building. So 10 out of the 12 units get their own garage. So that's a little bit about our layout and our plan. I won't bore you guys with all the nitty-gritty details unless you really want me to, but I went through and did what I like to call a checklist, of how we stacked up against the overlay district code. So what I did is I went through all the different sections of code that apply to the development standards, as far as density, open space, parking requirements. And I went through and just checked the box to make sure that we meet all the requirements. So as you can see, most of these columns are yes, we are meeting the requirements. There are 3 divergences that we will actually be requesting as part of this application. Again, and these divergences are coming from the tech comments that we received from staff. So the first divergence we will be requesting relates to the multi-use path and sidewalks along arterial roads. So pull up this map real quick. So as part of the requirement of the RCOD, it does require that, this one's a better one, a little blown up. Perfect. It requires that sidewalk or a multi-use trail be extended across the frontage of your property. So actually maybe this one is better. So when the county installed Home Road, they were actually set to install multi-use trails on either side of Home Road, okay? When the county got out there and they got into their construction and the design, they determined that they do not want to have a multi-use trail that extends along from Graphics Way to Home Road. And the reason being is that they do not want to direct pedestrian traffic to this intersection. Opposed to that, they would like to direct traffic or pedestrian traffic from Graphics Way down Graphics Way to Mills Way to the bridge that crosses over top of 23. So they do not want this to be a pedestrian friendly intersection because ultimately Home Road will be the ultimate east-west connector through Delaware County. This Home Road is set to extend up to Lewis Center Road, which turns into Big Walnut. And the idea is, or the plan is, that there will be an exit ramp at I-71 in Big Walnut, which will create this east-west connector road. So they wanted to keep pedestrians off of US 23, guide them this way. So when the county installed Home Road, again, they did not install the path from this point here. And ultimately, this intersection will be a signalized intersection with ped crossings and crosswalks, and so on and so forth. So that's the first divergence that we will be asking for. The third divergence that we will be asking for relates to wayfinding signs. And again, this came from the technical review comments. So at this entryway right here, we actually have 2 entry columns. The wayfinding signs, the maximum height per the code is 3 feet. And we are asking for that to be increased to 7 feet for our 2 entry columns. And I can show the entry columns if you guys like from the plans. But these entry columns will match the entry columns that are going into our development to the south. So just to be consistent, we wanted to install the same entry columns right here that give that wayfinding, so to speak, for the development. And then the third and final divergence that we will be requesting will be for temporary signage. I believe, and Michelle, correct me if I'm wrong, I think that for temporary signage, the maximum time frame on that is, I think it's 3 months, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
We're asking for that temporary signage to be in place from the time that we start construction until 1 year, or I'm sorry, that temporary signage be in from when we start construction to a 1 year period after we obtain our final CO. And the reason that is that temporary signage, it helps us with our lease up to make sure that our communities are full. Now, one comment we got from the technical review was that there should be the sign permit should be renewed every 6 months, and we are okay with that. We are adding that language into that specific divergence to satisfy that tech review comment. So again, as far as compliance review is concerned, besides those 3 minor divergences, we feel we're meeting the intent of the RCAOD code. And again, we're excited about this development and the continuation from the south side into this north side. Yeah, and we think we appreciate the public-private partnership with Orange Township, and really the goal for this development is to get it in the ground as quick as we can, and help accelerate as much as possible the funding that comes from this development for the future extension of Home Road across the railroad tracks. So that's all I have for you guys tonight. Hopefully that's short and sweet. I'm obviously here for questions and input and feedback. So thank you guys for your time.
Yeah, Wes, I got a couple questions. Michelle, can you hear me?
Yes.
This is Rick. One of my first questions is on the little ponds there. Since I don't have the SWEP plan, is none of those are retention ponds, correct?
So they are wet ponds. So actually, let me go to my blow up here. So this pond in the middle, it is a stormwater management basin. It will be a wet pond in the centralized open space. This pond right here will also be a wet pond. This pond, in the development plan, it will be utilized by the single family that is to the north of us. It's what we've worked out with the seller. So this pond will not be built with this development. It will be built in the future.
Oh, okay. So that's that was kind of threw me off there because it's within the black line. And the other question is, are the facades similar to the facades in I apologize. So I didn't look at the other complex you have there. Are they similar to the same facades as your other complex?
There is no the buildings that are on the south side. There are no similar buildings on the north side. So we've provided a lot more diversity throughout both the developments. So no single building there's no building that's on the south side that is on the north side, if that makes sense. Is that hopefully that answers your question?
Yeah. So meaning, are we going to have the same stone, same siding, same?
Yes. Yeah. All our product types will all play together. Yes.
And then Wes, can you touch on the amenities will be shared too, or?
Yeah. As far as the amenities are concerned, so again, as I mentioned, on the north side, there's 3 amenities within the centralized open space: a picnic or a gazebo, a picnic shelter or a gazebo, a dog park, and a fire pit. Now, one thing that we are going to do as part of the technical review comments is we're going to add some additional options for these amenities to choose from. So I think we're going to add bocce ball, pickleball, and a community garden to maybe replace out one of these. We find that amenities they change from the clientele's liking pretty regularly. So we just wanted to give ourselves some flexibility. But Michelle, to answer your question, again, the residents that live on the north side will have access to the amenities on the south side of the road. On the south side of the road, there is a clubhouse that's somewhere in the range of 8,000 to 9,000 square feet. They'll have access to the pool. There's a fire pit, bocce ball, pickleball, and community garden on the south side of the road that these residents will have access to as well.
Well, no, that's good to know, because I think one thing I know when this 23 corridor was developed, it was to try to attract a younger, because
young professionals.
More younger professionals, because really around here, I think that's one thing, that we're lacking, right?
No, Rick, you make a really good point. I mean, our renters are really renters by choice, meaning this, the price points of our communities, because we have such high-end communities. The price points really attract those renters by choice, and they're really attracted to the amenities packages. And what we find, Rick, is that the demographics that we hit are really those young professionals and the empty nesters. Funny enough, those are the two biggest ends of the spectrum that we find with our renters.
No, that's good to know. That I think that's what we need, to be quite honest, in this community.
Yeah, I mean, and I can tell you, I mean, from on the south side of the road, Rick, I mean, we cannot build the south side of the road fast enough. I mean, there's 288 units on the south side of the road. We have 178 of those units leased up last time I checked. However, only 123 are able to be occupied, meaning we have a waiting list of about 50 people that are waiting to get into that community.
That's good.
Good, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Wes, this is Todd.
Hey, Todd, how you doing?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good, good. Hey, can we go back to the signage that's along Street E, which is one of your references? And I know you're trying to match the one that's along the home road, but to me, that's a totally different functional road on street. I mean, that entrance on Graphics Way, to me, is comparable to the one along a home road there to the south.
Yeah. So
why does Street E need to have that sort of presence?
So in time, maybe I did a bad job explaining myself. So I'm going to open up the sign. I'm still on screen share, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to open up the signage plan real quick. That is not the signage plan. That is the lighting plan. 1 second. I'm sorry.
No worries.
Signage plan. Perfect. And then I'm going to open up the signage details real quick. All right. So this is our, Todd, this is our primary entry sign. Okay. I'm going to relate this back to the signage plan here in a second. This is our primary entry sign. And
home road.
Yes. And this is, yep. And this is one column option, and this is the other column option. So, so the plan is this: we will have at Home Road and Graphics Way, we will have a monument sign, the larger 8-foot sign, 32 square feet. Okay. And then at this entry point right here, there's two options. We could either do the entry columns, or we can do the monument sign. Either one of those options. So there is no signage at the corner of Home Road and Street E. It would be at the secondary entrance right here.
I guess my question is, why do you feel that you need a monument sign along that? I mean, it's not going to be that visible from Home Road once everything else gets developed.
And I understand that. The thought process is that, and maybe it will work better. Yeah, this will be better. So the thought process is when this develops out, you have this community here. At some point, this is going to develop out. Both of these two developments have access off of Street E. So this kind of signifies our development at that point.
How many you have is divergence, so someone's going to decide, but
And the divergence is only related to
The height.
the height of these columns. So these columns are considered as part of the RCOD code. They are considered wayfinding signs. And the maximum height for a wayfinding sign is 3 feet. So depending on which column we choose, it'll either be 5 feet or 7 feet. That is the specific divergence that we are going for, not whether it's a monument.
You're not looking to put. Yeah, you're not looking to put a monument sign on Street E then?
Potentially, yeah. But that's permitted underneath the RCOD code.
Yeah, they are. Well, is it each street, or is it each public street, or at every entrance point, right?
Correct.
It's at each entrance point, so they're allowed to have 2 signs.
Mm-hmm. So a monument sign is permitted at each entrance point based on the Route 23 text.
Sorry, I'm still getting used to this new code.
Me too. So I guess, Todd, do you have concerns with the height of the columns, or what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey Wes, it's Adam. I have a couple things to add.
Yeah.
So in regards to the temporary signage, I get the divergence for the time frame, but and maybe you don't know this yet, but what exactly would that signage be? Because it's going to be staying up so long. Are you talking about just some kind of billboard things that are whatever you call them, that are sitting out, that's identifying what's being built there and kind of doing marketing, or okay.
Yeah, it's in the package. Yeah, it'll be one of these two.
Yep. Okay. All right. Sorry. Yeah, I missed that.
Yeah, so it'll be 8 foot tall. It's the really sturdy stuff that looks good over a long period of time. It's 8 foot tall, 8x4 signage wall, I'll call it.
Okay. And that complies with the standard too. So
yeah. Okay. And then Wes, you mentioned I think it was 112 unit option for this property. If you were to proceed with that, and this is more, I'm just curious, is that then eliminating like one of the T buildings in the back or something and making that green space, or is it really going to change the dynamic of this layout where you have all the J buildings in the front or anything like that?
No, so the J buildings will stay in place. So essentially, this is how it would work. So the 120 unit layout would be all J's and all T's. Okay. And if we were to go with the 112 unit layout, the buildings that I have labeled M here, here, and here would convert into an M building opposed to a T building.
Oh, okay. So it's not eliminating a building. It's just changing the, okay.
Yeah, the M building and the T building, they have very similar footprints. So they essentially just lay over top of each other. Driveway locations change a little bit, but what we'll do in the package, the entire package that'll be shown will be for the 120 unit layout. And then there'll be a development plan that just shows the 112 unit layout as the alternate layout.
Okay.
And the factor that's going to make that determination is just based on the market. Is that
It really is. It really is less. I mean, obviously we're going to have to get to a point. I mean, we're probably going to move on this, I'd say sometime in the spring, early summer. So what we're going to do is we're going to analyze the south side and see where we're at on that and see how the market demand is on the south side and then apply that to the north side for those two options. And the market demand, I mean, I'm sure you guys know, I mean, it changes regularly. I mean, 1 6-month period, there'll be people that are saying, we want 3 bedrooms. We want 3 bedrooms. And you're like, okay, there's a little bit of waiting list. We'll get you in. And then the next 6 months, it's all 2 bedrooms. It's cyclical. It just, we always experience those types of things.
You talked about the, I think the path in front.
Mm-hmm.
That you said doesn't go all the way to, they don't want to go all the way to 23. Are you going to have a path that just goes to like the end of the property there, or?
No. So what we'll do is, let me go to. So what we'll do, again, the county has already installed the path on either side of Home Road. They terminated the path on this side. Again, because they did not want someone going up to Home Road and crossing, or going up Home Road and crossed Home Road. So they've set up all the ramps at this intersections for that pedestrian crossing. We will have internal walks within our property that'll lead to a walk here, which will come to this intersection. So to answer your question, Les, there will be no walk or path along this frontage. But again, there is existing path across this frontage, which leads all the way down to Green Meadows.
And you have sidewalks within the development.
Yep, sidewalks all throughout the development, all through the centralized open space. Yes.
Wes, can you remind me how the connection back to the other development on the north side for pedestrians is? Is there something along Streety and then along this?
Yeah, so there will be, so again, you have existing path on this side of the road, you have existing path on this side of the road. So there will be a path that leads down Street E, connects to this path. There is a path that leads down here, connects here. The idea and what the county really wants is they want people crossing the intersection here and coming down this way. That's why they did not install curb ramps to cross the street here.
Right. I'm talking about from the stub of Street E going back into the future development to the northeast there.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, whenever this development goes, there will be sidewalks that develop along that street. Yes, and I think if they go in the RCOD code, it's required, right? But yes, there will be paths that go back through there. Yes, along those streets at the time they come.
Mm-hmm.
And just real quick, so for the access between the north and the south side of the property, it's really, you have to go all the way down to the graphics way to cross over. Is that?
That's what the county's intent is. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Again, they'll have when this intersection eventually signalizes, they'll have all the ped crossings and things of that nature here. There. Yes.
And as part of the revised submittal that goes to the trustees, the applicants agreed to provide some correspondence, correct, Wes, from the county engineer?
Yeah, I'm just waiting. Tiffany Jenkins was with Delaware County Engineer's Office. She was the project manager for the Home Road project. And we asked her, Tiffany White, we had shown path across here, and they're like, hey guys, that path was not installed as part of the road. we do not want pedestrian traffic going to that intersection. You need to take that off. So Tiffany Jenkins, she's actually preparing a letter to you, Michelle. I was hoping to have it today. Obviously, I did not get that today, but I should have it in the next day or two. So it'll be in the next middle package. Yes.
Great.
I mean, that all makes perfect sense. That's why that bridge is there, is,
Mm-hmm.
you know, to get people safely across 23. So let's direct people so they get safely across 23.
Yeah.
Well, does any other board members have any other comments that you'd like me to pass along to the trustees?
I will agree with Wes that this report is very helpful. What I try to do is, obviously, I knew this was coming with our formal meeting that we had with Wes, and knew that what we had discussed, and it was very nice to review the application and then kind of go and compare my notes to the notes from Michelle and her team. So I think everything was already captured and probably plus some. So I think it was very helpful and makes our job that much easier.
Okay, great. Well, we'll definitely continue proceeding like that for future applications.
Yeah, and that was helpful from our end as well. You know, obviously we want to do everything we can to be as responsive as we can. So Michelle, you know, thank you very much for that, getting that out, opposed to it being, you know, an hour before the meeting. So yeah, thank you.
Okay, so being a work session, we're not obviously doing a vote or anything. It's just adjourning the meeting, right, Michelle? There's not anything.
Yep, and just for the record, I mean, this is a public meeting. It was streamed live on our YouTube channel. Public comment was not open is not going to be open for work sessions, as public comment will be opened up for the trustee hearings only.
Okay.
So, I mean, if the board doesn't have any other comments, you know, we've worked, staff and our consultant Holly, and we've worked with Wes on our comments. So we'll be expecting a revised submittal from them next week to be heard at the trustee hearing, and that's scheduled on Tuesday, December 22nd at 6 p.m. if anyone wants to tune in.
Great.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you guys. It's always great being in front of this board, and I think you guys have a thankless job, right? You know, you guys are you volunteer your time and your evenings away from your family. So thank you guys for your time, energy, and efforts. And again, Michelle and Holly, thank you guys for your input and all your guidance. So I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
No problem. All right. Have a good evening, everybody.
Thank you, Wes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Wes.
Thanks all. Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Michelle.
Thank you all.